Hoki Maino, welcome back to AM. It's 7 away from 8 o'clock. COVID has knocked Chris Hipkins for a 6, but it hasn't stopped him campaigning. The Labour leader has slammed National leader Christopher Luxon for pulling out of the leaders' debate tonight. He joins us now fresh out of his sickbed. Good morning, Mr Hipkins. How are you?
Good morning. I'm on the mend, I think. So, yeah, a bit of a rough 48 hours, but I'm on the mend.
I notice you are zooming in from Auckland. Are you at home, in a hotel? Where are you isolating?
I'm in a hotel. I was in a hotel when I got a positive test result, and I made the decision that actually best to stay here rather than try and make my way back to Wellington, which would have involved, a lot of people and logistics and flights and so on. So better just to stay put, sleep it off, get better, and resume the campaign here from the hotel, which is what I'm hoping to do in the next day or two. Is a few more digital events so that I can still be meeting people, I can still be talking, I can still be campaigning, but it'll be slightly different to what we're normally used to at this point in the electoral cycle.
Yeah, you said that you would be isolating for 5 days. Is that still going to be the case?
Yeah, I think it is. I'm still quite symptomatic at the moment, and I do think it's the responsible thing to do. I think getting out on the campaign trail right now and infecting a whole lot of other people with COVID-19 wouldn't exactly be the message that I'm wanting to send through the election campaign. I do think that we should still be responsible. Some people, can go off and do a job where they can get well away from other people and not infect other people. An election campaign certainly is not one of those types of jobs.
Yeah, this is a real spanner in the works for you to try and get out and see people and attend things like the leaders' debate that was planned for tonight. The press in Christchurch was going to host this. 2,000 odd people, which are going to turn up. Many more would stream online. Why haven't you put up someone else in your place for tonight's debate?
We certainly offered an alternative, and the National Party indicated that they weren't happy with that.
Who did you offer up?
They didn't want. Well, we've said that we would have an alternative speaking on my behalf in the debate and participating on my behalf. The National Party indicated they didn't want Christopher Luxon to debate anyone but me, and so we've indicated that's fine.
Who was it going to be? Was it going to be Carmel Sepuloni, or was it going to be Calvin Davis?
Grant Robertson was the person who we'd suggested to take, to fill my shoes. And unfortunately, the National Party indicated they weren't happy with that. And so we've indicated any other day after Friday, or, from Friday onwards, once my isolation period's over, I'm happy to debate him again any time. So the ball's really in their court. I think it's important that this goes ahead. I understand Christopher Luxon's going to be in Christchurch on Monday, so that would be a good day.
There's reports that the National Party has said they'll put up their deputy, Nicola Willis, if you put up your deputy, Calvin Davis. That sounds reasonable. Why don't you put him up?
Well, then it wouldn't be a leaders' debate, would it? I mean, this is.
But it would be a deputy leaders' debate.
I acknowledge
it would be fair.
I acknowledge that I can't do the debate while I'm in isolation, but I can certainly do the debate after my isolation period is finished, which is any time from Friday, and I'm very happy to do that.
But the date was locked in, and you fell ill, which is totally understandable. People get sick and things, but normally you'd put someone in your place, and if they're suggesting putting their deputy, why don't you give your deputy?
My understanding is that the press didn't want that, that they wanted a leaders' debate.
Okay, so what's your understanding of where that's at the moment then? Are you still just waiting to hear back on a new date, or is it completely all off now?
So, look, my team have reached out to the press, and I think they'll do that again today, indicating that I'm still happy to come as soon as my isolation is over. And if that means we do a town hall meeting where I take questions from the public rather than debating Christopher Luxon, then I'm happy to do that. And if he wants to come along, then that would be great, and we can have a debate.
You had a big announcement on supermarkets this week. You want to increase competition. How would you do that exactly?
We've said that we're happy to talk to any potential competitors who want to enter the supermarket industry in New Zealand to see what it is that we can do to support them. If it's regulatory change, if it's finance, whatever it is, even things like land availability, whatever it is that we can support with to get more competition in our supermarket sector, all options are on the table. I think the duopoly has dominated the supermarket industry in New Zealand for too long. I think it is time for more competition, and I'm absolutely committed to doing everything that we can to make sure that that happens.
What are the roadblocks in the supermarket's way at the moment? Because we had the head economist from the New Zealand Initiative on the program earlier who said, hey, if we're making so much, if supermarkets are so profitable in New Zealand, those big players overseas, they would come here in a heartbeat if there's money to be made.
Well, look, the supermarkets, it's clear. The supermarkets, the Commerce Commission have done their study. I think it's $1 million a day in excess profits that the supermarkets are making. That's excess profits. So that's not just profits, that's excess profits that they're making. So there's certainly room for competition. It is very difficult for new players to enter the market at the moment because of the way the existing duopoly have effectively locked up all of the supply chains. So we want to make sure that we're opening up those supply chains so that there can be more competition. I mean, a good example, we've just seen it around Weet-Bix, where basically, the duopoly are excluding, potential competitors from being able to sell Weet-Bix. I think that's wrong, and so I think it is something that we want to tackle this in the next term after the election and get proper competition in supermarkets in New Zealand.
Thank you so much for your time this morning. That's Labour leader Chris Hipkins zooming in to us this morning.